Amorim bringing back Sir Alex standards to Man Utd. Man Utd, storm, came early for Ruben Amorim at Arsenal. But demanding new manager is already bringing back Sir Alex Ferguson standards. The Portuguese tactician saw his team receive a reality check at the Emirates Stadium, but there were plenty of positives to take away. Manchester United's return to the elite level has been delayed again. After opening the Ruben Amorim era with a draw and 2 victories, United came crashing back down to earth again at Arsenal on Wednesday. The storm Amorim warned fans about in the build-up to the game manifested metaphorically and literally at the Emirates Stadium, as the Gunners ruthlessly exploited his side's flaws on a rain-soaked pitch. In the end, United could have no complaints over the 2-0 defeat, which saw them drop back into the Premier League's bottom half. But the performance was by no means a disgrace. Arsenal did not have everything their own way, and the tension in the air was palpable until Jurrien Timber opened the scoring 10 minutes into the second half. The United players are clearly buying into Amorim's methods. The Portuguese has stressed the need for patience because he is a realist, which is refreshing after 2 years of delusional ravings from his predecessor, Erik Ten Hag. However, there were more genuine signs of progress in North London, and the next time the two teams meet in the FA Cup in early January, it could be a very different story. Controlling the game. The first 45 minutes at the Emirates delivered very few talking points, with neither team managing a shot on target. United's disciplined approach frustrated Arsenal, and their playmaker-in-chief Martin Odegaard struggled to influence proceedings due to constant pressure from Noussair Mazraoui. Arsenal had scored 13 goals in their previous 3 matches, but barely had a sniff as the visitors slowed the game down while also enjoying a large portion of possession. Amorim was pleased to see his 3-4-3 system working again, as he told reporters after the game. "You feel it in the first half, in the environment of the stadium, that we were causing problems. We need to improve in a lot of areas of our game, but we were controlling the game." The players seemed to be drawing from the passion Amorim exuded from his technical area. He was constantly barking instructions and showed his approval whenever United executed his plan effectively, while also venting his frustration over any mistakes. Set pieces the difference. Arsenal don't have to be at their slick best to win games of this magnitude, though. Thanks largely to revered set-piece coach Nico Jover, the Gunners have evolved into the most dangerous team in Europe from corners. Amorim was well aware of the threat, with United seen running defensive dead ball drills in the warm-up, but it didn't matter. Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka both displayed flawless technical ability to consistently deliver the ball into a crowded 6-yard box, and Andre Onana simply couldn't cope. Timber's flicked header from a Rice corner opened the scoring, and William Saliba wrapped up the 3 points for Arsenal after Saka's wicked ball in from the right bypassed the entire United defense. The Gunners' plan to target Onana paid dividends, as the goalkeeper's reluctance to move off his line and try to claim the ball left his defense in a state of panic. Arsenal had 13 corners in total, and could easily have scored more. Even with Brazilian commander Gabriel Magalhaes missing through injury, Mikel Arteta's team were superior in the air, much to Amorim's annoyance. The set pieces change everything, the momentum of the game, the United boss admitted to Premier League Productions. "We had to understand Arsenal can change games like that. We tried to defend them with 2 days of training. It's hard for every team to defend the set pieces of Arsenal." Method to the madness. Amorim is not afraid to tell it exactly like it is. He doesn't make excuses for bad results and below-par performances, or try to hide the true motivations behind his team selection. Eyebrows were raised when Amad Diallo, Marcus Rashford and Joshua Zirkzee were named on the bench for the trip to Arsenal. Rashford and Zirkzee had both scored braces in the 4-0 win over Everton 3 days earlier, while Amad was arguably the best player on the pitch. There was more confusion when the 3 attackers were introduced as substitutes at the Emirates before the hour mark, along with teenage centre-half Lenny Yoro, who made his first competitive appearance since his summer move from Lille. Mason Mount, Harry Maguire and Tyrell Malacia were all hooked early despite acquitting themselves well in the first half, but there was a method to Amorim's madness. "In this moment, it is impossible to play with the same team," he said. The players, have to feel they're part of the team. But we are changing the methodology, we are changing a lot of things. We are changing the way we play, the way we press, so we have to have all the players fit. We cannot have injuries in this moment because it will be tough to cope with all the games, so we will manage the way we feel is the better way for the team. Antithesis of Ten Hag. Amorim is essentially proving to be the antithesis of Ten Hag. United were ravaged by injuries last season because the Dutchman overworked so many key stars. He picked his favorites every week regardless of form or fitness, praying for individual brilliance to deliver wins instead of implementing a proper tactical plan, which ultimately led to the worst Premier League finish in the club's history. In stark contrast, Amorim is prioritizing team spirit and cohesion above everything else. He understands that United are only as good as their weakest link, and is working to build strong relationships across the entire squad so that everyone is on the same page. Ten Hag is not a manager that players run through walls for. He lacked the charisma needed to effect significant change at Old Trafford. United hit rock bottom under his leadership because mediocrity became acceptable. It never felt like there was a foundation of mutual respect between Ten Hag and his squad, but Amorim commands it. Cut from same cloth as Ferguson. Communication is Amorim's superpower. He's an accomplished man-manager cut from the same cloth as Sir Alex Ferguson, right down to the way he conducts himself in front of the media. Ten Hag used to fumble his way through press conferences, and often criticized his players in public, but every word that comes out of Amorim's mouth is measured. Exuding natural confidence, he expresses his ideas and feelings coherently, even when faced with challenging questions. It's like he's copying straight from the Ferguson playbook. For a manager, no matter the result, at a press conference you need to come out as the winner, the legendary former United manager said in 2015. You can kill yourself in a press conference. It's an important part of your job. According to the Daily Mail, Amorim was also seen as a master trash talker in his time at Sporting CP. There was a glimpse of that darker side in midweek as he appeared to suggest that Arsenal are a one-dimensional team, saying, "On every occasion Saka and Gabriel Martinelli has 1-against-1, they go outside, they cross. They know if the cross is going well, they can score. If it is a corner, they can score." Arteta felt the need to justify himself in response, and Amorim's words might just be in the back of his mind when Arsenal and United meet again. It remains to be seen if Amorim deploys mind games to try and gain an advantage as often as Ferguson used to, but his force of personality is already shining through, which can only be a good thing for the Red Devils. Right man at the wheel. Ferguson always demanded the highest possible standards at Old Trafford. That's why he was so successful for so long, and Amorim is bringing back those core values. Ahmad, Rashford and even club captain Bruno Fernandes were subjected to the hairdryer treatment as United allowed sloppy habits to creep back in during the second half of the Arsenal game. Amorim wears his heart on his sleeve, and doesn't suffer fools. Anyone found to be falling below his expectations will see their role in the team come under threat, which is exactly how it should be at a club the size of United. Unfortunately, some things won't be fixed without dipping into the transfer market. Ten Hag's recruitment record was diabolical, with the jury still very much out on signings such as Mount, Rasmus Højlund and Zirkzee. Aside from a brilliant Matthijs de Ligt header that forced David Raya into a full-stretch save, United created no chances of real note at the Emirates. That lack of quality up front must be addressed if Amorim is to deliver European qualification come May. But United are at least now set up to compete against anyone. The future looks bright at Old Trafford because it appears the right man is finally steering the ship. Thanks for watching.